morning and welcome to Behind the News on The Nation newspaper, a program where we analyze and dissect news stories in our national papers. My name is Bolarinwa. You know how we do it. I'm here with our in-house analyst, Mr. Adeyinka. Aderibigbe. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you, David. Good morning. To all our viewers from wherever you are watching us, good morning to you. It's nice being with you once again. Continue to enjoy The Nation television.
Right, so let's take it straight from our national daily, The Nation newspaper here, where the headline story here is saying how we are using cash from subsidy removal by Tinubu. The riders, ADC members asked court to void Mark Adegbeshola takeover. We also have customers slam banks multiple charges on account. And we also have, this very sad note, Olubadan's passing 7 days to first anniversary shakes city. And the Punch, we have 20 states at 6 despite 620 billion naira intervention. That's talking about the flood alert. And on the riders, we have Firestorm as APC coalition battle for Northern ADC leaders. We also have Ladoja next in line as tributes flow for late Olubadan. And to the New Telegraph, we have Nigeria at risk over Trump's proposed extra 10% tariff against BRICS nations. And we have reps demand whereabouts of MDAs missing 300 billion naira. So we go straight to The Nation newspaper, and we'll be starting on a more saddening note where we had a shock news yesterday that the newly installed, less than a year, Olubadan himself, Oba Olakunleyin, passed on just 7 days to his first anniversary. It has thrown the city into a bit of a shock, and it's been silent quite all through yesterday. You know, a lot of mourning, a lot of tributes being sent even from the president and other stakeholders. Mr. Aderibigbe, it's quite shocking.
Yeah, really. Let me say from here that the Nation newspaper, the newspaper's family joined the good people of Ibadan to commiserate the passing of the Oba. Just 7 days to his anniversary as a king.
Yes.
You know, Ibadan has a rich tradition of a very successive or unsuccessful transition from one to the other. So even as we mourn the passage of the Oba that has gone to join his ancestors, we also congratulate them for at least having an idea of who the next king is, you know, or at least until the formal pronouncement by the governor, but at least they know who the man is that will be the next king of the town. And I dare say that the passage has thrown open an opportunity for Ibadan to give to the Southwest a statesman as a monarch. You know, traditional institutions, especially of the Yoruba stock, has been assailed left, right by characters that a section of the society are seen as less charitable, if you want to use that word. So without necessarily dabbling into unnecessary controversy, I want to say that the opportunity has opened again for Ibadan to take the lead, to give to the Yoruba race a statesman monarch, one who can be a rallying force, one who can be a statesman, one who can show the path of royal character, one who can really galvanize the Yoruba race towards particular cause, So, congratulations to the people of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, and even as we commiserate and condole with them the passage of Oba Olakuleyin, who has gone to be with his ancestors.
All right, sir. That's well said, and we from the nation, we share our condolences also, and we pray that God Almighty be with the family and the state at large, and for the incoming Oba, we pray his reign be long and the ancestors be with him. Let's go straight to our headline story here, where we have how we are using cash from subsidy removal by Tinubu. From the lead here, saying those questioning the usage of the funds accruing to the government from the removal of petrol subsidy got an answer yesterday. The money is being used for the development of infrastructure and building of human capital, the federal government said yesterday. And yes, it has been one of the things we've been clamoring for here on this show, and many Nigerians have been questioning, okay, yes, you remove the there's no, you declared as a president fuel subsidy is gone, so where is the money from the fuel subsidy and how is it being used? And the federal government came out yesterday to say these monies have been what they've been putting into infrastructure, building of human capital. How do you see this, Mr. Aderibigbe?
It's just the assignment of the federal government to continue to explain to Nigerians how their monies are spent. So there's no big deal about it, Nigerians have a right, fundamental as it is, to ask questions,
right,
especially when they are seeing a mismatch between promises and realities. And so they need to find out, okay, so where are these monies that are creamed off the subsidy cesspool? Where is it being plugged? And so it's good that Mr. President has told us he's using it to fit infrastructure deficit. He's also using it on manpower development. It's a best way to hang it, just as it is the right of Nigerians to continue to ask questions until the time for the next round of polls. The president will not, and his handlers will not stop explaining to Nigerians, and especially to the opposition, that we want to demarket them. So it's their right of reply to continue to carry Nigerians along and to show the world how the monies that are creamed off from the subsidy are being deployed, and to what extent that they've been used. And Nigerians, of course, will want to see in concrete terms, the result of all of this positively, so that they will be on the same page with the government. That is exactly what they want. A situation where they will be on the same page with the government. It will not be a situation where government is saying one thing, the people are saying and reading the other. So let's all be on the same page. And so when that is the objective, then you must continue to engage. And the only way to engage is to continue to talk. That is what democracy ensures. Yeah. The opportunity to talk, the opportunity to dialogue, the opportunity to put all facts on the table. That is what the government is doing. And they should not stop doing that. Even if the opposition will call it propaganda, whatever it is they want to call it, the fact remains that the government has a fundamental right, just as they do, to put the facts on the table for whoever is out there that may also need to know how things are done or how far things have gone as far as the nation state called Nigeria is concerned.
All right. We really hope many of all of these promises will be met and will be achieved. It will not just be words of mouth alone from the federal government, but in fact the citizens ourselves, the citizens will feel it and would say, okay, yes, they've been promised, and yes, these promises have been made. Away from state matters now, let's dive into real disturbing issues. And yes, we understand it's the season. Yes, we understand it's the weather coming up and it's the season for the rain. But now is the flood alert coming back. And it's not just coming in little waves. It's coming as big as it could. And now 20 states have been at risk even after receiving 620 billion for intervention. And this is coming from NIMET. I'll be reading the first paragraph from the Punch newspaper saying the Nigerian Meteorological Agency has issued a flood alert for the month of July, warning that states including Sokoto, Lagos, Edo, Benue, and 16 others are at risk of experiencing flash floods. Mr. Aderibigbe, we are at it again. You have this alert prior before now. They've been issues of reportage saying, yes, the rain is coming and there will be a lot of floods. And there was an allocation prior to this time to mitigate the effect of this flood. And here we are again receiving reports that despite 620 billion allocation, we still have flash flood threats.
Well, yes, there's nothing we can do about nature. We just need to continue to manage the after effect of our impacts on nature. Humanity has, since the days of Adam, when he decided to go against the ordinance of God and ate the forbidden fruit, he has come to begin to impact on the environment. He has come to begin to do things that will charge the environment. He has come to do things that would put the environment at a great risk and put himself as the after effect of such actions. You know, so since his time, there has been different levels of development or evolution, and man will tell you that right now we are in the fourth evolution, the fourth industrial. Well, industrial was the fourth. We are coming to the fifth now, which is all about technology revolution and all of that. So there's nothing we can do about that. Nothing, absolutely, because if you look at even developed jurisdictions,
yes,
they have their own fair deal.
Yeah.
You know, those who have issues with all manners of events,
hurricane,
you know, hurricanes, no matter how developed and how prepared you are, you know, those are even predictable. You know almost to the exact when it will happen, how it will happen, and the degree to which it will go. Happen, you understand? So those that have typhoons, no matter what you do, it will come. Those that have high tide of water, those that, you know, so it's even you have bushfires.
Currently in Texas, they even have flood.
Oh, so flood is leveling virtually every. So not to now talk of developing nation like Nigeria with very scant attention to some things like this. In fact, we should thank nature for trying to make NIMET to sit on their assignment. Because if it had been some other redundant elements Perhaps the agency also could have gone to sleep. So many federal government agencies are sleeping and dropping the ball, as it were. But this agency has always, as usual, been coming up, alerting Nigerians, informing Nigerians about what is coming up, how it's going to be, and all of that. Flash flood, 22 states. You know, it's a major thing. Because of the 36 states of Nigeria, 28 of them are littoral states. That is, they have water bodies large enough. You know, so if 22 of those 28 are threatened now with flash floods, it's a major concern, you know, especially after humongous amounts to the tune of about over 600 billion has gone into mitigating interventions, you know. Really, human impact is a major factor around here. So many of us built alongside water channels without any consideration for its after effects. So many of us have attitudes and behaviors that impact negatively on the natural chain of things. If you block a water channel, it will flow and outflow and crush over whatever you put on its path, because water must find its level. You know, so until this year, Mokwa was not in the picture. So Niger State was coasting away. You know, so you do not know which other states, which other community will have the devastating effect, just as Niger had in Mokwa, where well over 200 people died as a result of flash flood. The other year, it was Maiduguri, where about a quarter of the capital was completely overrun by flood. And these are major threats to a nation like Nigeria. It's a wake-up call to the government to continue to do what they have to do. Those that are in charge of the environment in many of those states, especially the 22 mentioned, and even all the 36, as a matter of fact, because we are not mentioned does not mean that you should go and sleep. You know, they should go ahead, begin. There's no late time to start. Begin to dredge, begin to clean up, begin to widen, begin to take off all the impediments along the gorges, along the water channels that need to outflow, so that you mitigate the effect of the flood. They call it flash flood. And what that means is that because of the intensity and volume of the raindrop, it's going to compound on the surface until such a time that it can flow out. So what it means is that if you have very wide and clean channels, they could help you soak up all those water that as they drop, so that they have minimal impact on environment around them. So if they can do all of that, they will have taken care of the impact that the flash flood could give. So that's just a wake-up call to state governments that all the ecological funds should not go into Owambe. You know, they should use it for what it was meant, to widen and to reduce the impact of their states, the exposure of their states to tragedies. We don't want to push our president to that point where he will start sending condolence letters again, and then Nigerians will start blaming him again for not going to commiserate personally where tragedies regarding flooding has arisen. You know, what we need to do at our level, let us do it so that together we fight the scourge, because it appears apart from structures that are just falling here and there, building collapse here and there, it appears flood is about the only major issue we have here, outside the man-made crisis of insecurity. So if we tackle all of this and the government sit on their assignment, I think we should be able to, now that we learned early, we should be able to walk away with the least impact, at the end of this July, because we are being warned about July. We don't even know what August will bring and all that.
And an earlier report has said they are foreseeing more rain between now and August, and the weather would be more cold between now and August. Away from flood and the weather, now let's travel down to Brazil, where the president is currently in a meeting with the BRICS nations, and they over there are having meetings on climate change and all of how it affects all the countries involved in BRICS. So, excuse me. But then the trouble is landing over their heads, where President Trump excuse me, where Trump is proposing an extra 10% tariff on BRICS nations. With Aderibigbe.
Well, President Trump is leaving no one in doubt about his intention to rebuild the American economy. His idea is that the nation needs to be rebuilt, and that everything needed to be done must be done with dispatch. So it is the time to turn to BRICS. BRICS is an agglomeration of nations, I think Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Nigeria went there as an observer nation. We are not a member of BRICS. And even though there has been moves made to join formally, I think this President Tinubu's going is one of the mandatory steps to see the suitability of Nigeria as a member nation, because there are one or two other countries that are also showing interest in BRICS. So it is an attempt for Trump to bring in more cash to the American economy, to ensure that you don't take their business elsewhere. And if you try to do, then they slam a tariff on what you are doing with them. So I think it's a challenge to world leaders who are elected by their people, not only to govern, but to administer their economic and their finances. How much value can you bring in? And that is the challenge that Trump is putting to all of them. It has its own plus, it has its own minus. People are already tagging Trump as this or that, but that is not the issue, and that is not the topic for debate as at this moment. But safe to say that it is a proposition, and any state that wants to do business with United States should get ready to pay a little more. Of course, you also have the right to also reciprocate in like terms. Yes. They have more to lose. They are the industrial nation, you are not. You get. They have need for having more nations to sell to. you know. And so if you also reciprocate by telling them to also put in 15% or 20% tariff, it won't be out of place. Then you now begin to negotiate. But by and large, the fact remains that at least he has shown that leaders must not be afraid to take the hard decisions. And this, especially relating to economy, at this time, is one of the decisions that leaders must learn to confront headlong.
All right, we just hope that many of these decisions will be favorable to both parties as it stands, because increasing the tariffs here sometimes might only lead to breaking of ties when both parties cannot come to a reasonable agreement. And we don't want that for Nigeria and USA, because there are a lot of ties to be shared. Here is where we'll call the curtain for today. Thank you, Mr. Aderibigbe, for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for having me, and to all our viewers. It's nice sharing this moment with you. Please stay tuned to The Nation TV. Thank you very much.
All right, ahead of the flood and ahead of the cold weather, please stay safe and always walk around with a jacket and take more of warm drinks and not just the cold drinks this weather. My name remains David Bolarinwa. Till I see you again. Bye-bye.